Hello and welcome to my draft analysis for my draft in the Pokemon League Discord. Couple of things about the league. It is a free draft. You each get 12 mons. You can have up to 2 Megas, and then at the end of the draft you select 2 Z Captains. Ban list is Smogon Ubers. Things like Meowstic and Greninja that have multiple forms. Each of the individual forms is a different entry. So the 2 genders of Meowstic are different. Considered different mons, 3 different types of Lycanroc are considered different mons, and the 3 abilities of Greninja. Blaziken is allowed. I don't think anyone picked Blaziken, but it was allowed. As well as Multipass, Omnipass, and Speed Pass. But as really Scolipede, Whirlipede, and Combuskin are the only abusers of that. You can prep for it in theory. Also, big shout out to Zone Killer for the logo on the left, the logo for the league. So much better than the one that I did. Thank you for that. Other than that, I think we should start with the draft. I was third pick in the draft, which I was quite happy about. But I really did think that my first pick was going to get taken in the first 2 picks, because I picked up Mackenna first, and Mackenna is a beast. You can run AV, you can run it with Z Crystals, like I am doing, as it is one of my 2 Z Captains. You can run it with Shift Gear. Yeah. I mean, its stat attribution is great, its typing is great, its ability is... okay, it's not Beast Boops, but it might as well be. I like everything about it. It has yet to do badly for me, in general. So I'm really surprised that I managed to pick it up third. Really glad I picked it up third. So, yeah, all in all, good pick. I like it. Everyone kind of likes it in general in draft. It's apparently is one of the best. I kind of think I kind of agree, to be honest, from what I've seen. But other than that, yeah, again, a good pick. My next pick, a small amount of controversy, the fact that I picked double fairies, but I picked up Tapu Fini. In my opinion, really bulky. Has Defog, has Haze, has Misty Terrain, so the whole Toxic and School thing doesn't particularly work with it. However, it's good for getting rid of other people's terrains. Tapu Koko, Tapu Bulu, and Tapu Lele had all gone. So I picked up the last Tapu. Again, I've used it, it works. The whole double fairy thing, in my opinion, doesn't particularly matter, because steel types are resistant to steel and immune to poison. Water types resist steel but aren't immune to poison. So out of the 2 fairy types, I'm only getting hit, pardon me, on the fairy side with one of them. So it all works out. Yes, it doesn't have reliable recovery, but I mean, doesn't particularly need. I've never found that it particularly needs it. There've been a couple of times when I'm just like, I wish I had it, but I've managed to deal with it. Third pick is something that I've only recently started using, and again, very happy I got it. It's Thundurus Incarnate. I really like Thundurus Incarnate. There's a couple of other leagues I filled in for a coach. Thundurus Incarnate was one of the picks that he had. Really fast, 2 great abilities, decent enough move pool that you can in theory make use of the Defiant, but the Prankster, so you can get Prankster Taunt, Prankster T-Wave, probably Prankster Defog because it's a flying type. Everything gets flying. Every flying type gets Defog now. Everything has Defog. But it has Incinerate, so you don't have to run HP Fire, which means you can run Incinerate and say HP Ice to deal with 2 threats that you wouldn't normally be able to. The Incinerate is so handy. I'm pretty sure it still destroys Forotresses and Ferrothorns, which is mostly what you're using it for. Obviously it gets Thunderbolt, it gets Volt Switch. Really well rounded. I really like it. It does a lot of work, and it gives me a decent speed tier, which currently, without beginner setting up shift gear, I did not have. At this point, someone else did take Landorus Therian, which I actually did want to take, but I didn't get the chance. So on my 2 picks close to Will, I picked up the Tapu Fini and the Thunderous. I mean, I have some shared weaknesses. I mean, Thunderous does cover the Mackenna's ground weakness. It kinda covers it and Tapu Fini's, well, Tapu Fini's electric weakness and its electric neutrality, kinda, but not really. At this point, I am missing a few things in my team, but aren't we all? But really happy with Thunderous. To be honest, first 3 picks of the draft, just super happy with. I don't think that as I said, Landorus Therian is about the only thing that I would have really liked to pick up other than these last 2, but it went in someone else's first round of picks. My 4th pick, after it came back round, was Cabal Ian. Again, bulky, pretty decent speed tier, considering its bulk. I now have a physical wall to go with my special wall. It can also be used as an offensive threat, although not massively offensive, just offensive enough to be able to chunk stuff. Justified is always, well, I'd say it's always good. It's handy, especially considering like fighting, I believe, resists dark. So you at least can switch in on the resistor to hit. Knockoff running around everywhere, you are likely to pick up Justified quite a lot, however you don't really want to be losing the leftovers, which you're probably going to be running with a Cabal Ian. It does also get Stealth Rock, it does also get Volt Switch. It is definitely Momentum Mon. It gets Iron Head for those 30% flinch chances with that base 108 speed. It gets Sacred Sword to cut through any plus defense bullcrap. Also, I'm pretty sure it cuts through Violite, so bye-bye Chansey. That's always fun. So, again, very happy. I'm very happy with my entire draft, to be honest. There's 1 or 2 things, really, that I wish I had, but Cabal Ian is definitely on the list with stuff that I wish I had, and then I definitely have that now. My 5th pick is Salamence. I really just love using Salamence in all its forms. Admittedly, I tend to use Intimidate rather than Moxie, but that's mostly because I run Mixed Ments pretty much everywhere, just because Mixed Ments is awesome. However, it being our 2nd Z Captain allows the Mixed Ments to be a very prevalent threat, because you can see Draco Meteor really chunk something out, and then potentially go for a 2nd Draco Meteor on something else without taking the special attack drop and it being wasted. You've also got the D-Dance, you've got Moxie, so that if you do just want to sweep with it, you can just continue to sweep and sweep. Okay, it only boosts attack, but in those instances it might as well function as Beast Boost, so it works pretty much the same. Base 100, again, nice speed tier. Garchomp is in the mix somewhere, however, so that is one thing I do have to be wary of. I mean, anything that outspeeds it isn't going to outspeed it after a D-Dance. So if I can try and set up freely on something, get a D-Dance up, I am set. Which is nice. It's going to be interesting to use, because I'm going to obviously have to use sets that aren't Mixed Ments. But I love using Ments. I can even run Special Ments. Super happy with it. Like, really happy with it. It's a very good, well-rounded Mon, although the whole Ice weakness I now double up with Thunderous. But that's okay, because I have Tapu Fini, and I also have my next pick, Arcanine. Arcanine, I love. I love my Dumbledore set. It's fun. Okay, it isn't the bulkiest Mon in the world. However, Flash Fire, Intimidate, and Justified. Flash Fire, Intimidate, 2 amazing abilities. Justified, an ability that is pretty good. Again, knockoff running everywhere. You're likely to be able to pick it up. However, I do believe the other 2 are just better for Arcanine. The hidden ability isn't the end of the world. Base 95 speed, just shy of that base 100 tier. However, it does obviously have access to extreme speed to cover that. Along with the fact that I really wish that it had a more reliable fire type move, because you don't always want to be running Glass Cannon Recoil Arcanine. Flare Blitz really hurts things, but obviously there is that recoil. The next move that it gets as a fire type stab on the physical side is Fire Fang, which I believe is about half the power, like 65. I think Flare Blitz is either 110 or 130. Like, the difference is, if you run Fire Fang, yes, you get less recoil, but you're not going to do as much. It's disappointing that it doesn't get a better fire stab on the physical side. However, it does get Fire Blast, Overheat. I don't know. If it gets Flamethrower and Overheat, it might get Fire Blast on the special side. So who knows? You might not even need it. It's really good. It's also a very good wall breaker on both sides. There are a couple of really annoying walls running around. I know that there is a Chansey in the mix, there is a Ferrothorn in the mix, there is a Forretress in the mix, there's also a Toxapex in the mix. Not sure how Arcanine's going to do against Toxapex, but I know it can take out the Ferrothorn, the Forretress, and the Chansey really easily. Just needs to land one hit really on each of them. Life Orb boosted close combat on the Chansey's going to KO. Unboosted Flamethrowers and Flare Blitzes are going to kill the Ferrothorn and the Forretress. So it's all good. Very decent and very reliable pick for me. My next pick is my one and only Mega, which I took in the 7th round as Mega Pidgeot. Obviously, it only has the one ability in No Guard, means that it can hit its Overheat and its Hurricanes 100% of the time. However, it does also mean that it is 100% going to get hit. Base 135 special attack, base 121 speed, gives us another speed tier. No longer need to run the Protect to get that speed tier. However, obviously it is still an option. There is a Mega Medicham running around. Why it would try and high jump kick a bird, I don't know, when it has access to Thunder Punch and Ice Punch. Why not just Thunder Punch or Ice Punch them and get rid of the whole chance to miss? But it is an option. Does free up an additional move slot, although I don't think it really gets anything that you want to be running in there, other than the Hurricane, Heat Wave, and HP Ice, or Hidden Power. Potentially could put U-Turn in that slot. We will see how it goes. It is a Mega that I have used a lot. It is a very underrated Mega. I do love Mega Bird. It being the 7th pick makes it look like I didn't prioritise my Mega as much, but quite a lot of the good Megas went. I say good Megas, like Mega Titar and Mega Pinsir, Mega Gardevoir, they all went earlier. Mega Gardevoir and Mega Titar are both things that I kind of would have liked to run because they're fun. Mega Pinsir would have just been different to run, also very reliable, but I got Mega Bird, I got Mega Pidgeot. I am not complaining. I'm very happy with this. As I said, I am only running the one Mega, mostly because at this point I could have run Mega Latias, I believe, as only Latios had been taken one way or another. I can't remember which way around it was, but only one of those was taken, so I could have in theory picked up the other one later on in the draft, as no one did pick it up, I think. I decided against it because I needed other things to round out the round out the team, and I needed something that I could run. In general, I tend to only like to take one Mega anyway, because I like being able to say, right, if I'm bringing my Mega, I can bring everything. Not, if I'm bringing my Mega, I can't bring this thing because I can't have two Megas. The other rules on the Megas is that it doesn't have to Mega first turn, it can Mega first or second turn that it stays in. However, this thing you're going to Mega first turn anyway. So, unless you're switching. But, why would you switch? If you put on the Mega Pidgeot, you're just going to Mega and hit things with Hurricane and they're going to die. I love Mega Pidgeot. I don't think there's much more to be said on that topic. The next pick is Umbreon. It is another thing that I love. I love Umbreon. I love its design. I love pretty much all evolutions, apart from Flareon. Flareon is a dick. Especially when Flareon uses Flamethrower and it's actually Zoroark. Because that's happened before. It was not fun. Obviously, its attack, special attack, and speed are not that high. However, its defenses and its hit points are very high. Its two abilities aren't the best in the world. Synchronize can be okay. However, mostly I picked it because it is a Wish Passer. I also picked it because it has Heal Bell. I picked it because it is a bulky as anything. I have never had the chance to use an Umbreon, because trying to breed evolutions is a pain in the ass for me. But one of the very few that I've got actually personally bred, I've got like 3. One of them is a shiny Sylveon. That took days. In fact, that took months. And a failed shiny, because they wanted a shiny hidden ability Sylveon. So I haven't bred evolutions that much. But as this is a showdown league, I can now use Umbreon. I can now come up with a set for Umbreon. I can come up with multiple sets for Umbreon. I can use it. I am really, really excited to be finally able to use the Umbreon, because it's not really something you use in-game. The other option that I did have at this time was the Vaporeon, because they do very, very similar things in my mind. They were both walls. They both obviously have access to Wish Pass because they are EV moves. They both can stall to high heaven. Umbreon's typing made it slightly better, and the fact that it was a special wall, being I had 2 Intimidate users and a Cabal Ian, compared to just the Tapu Fini. I needed another special wall. But the Vaporeon does get Water Absorb, and it is a much better ability than Synchronize. We will see how it goes. I really, really am looking forward to using Umbreon. And to be honest, you can't take that away from me. I'm really, really happy to use it. People might say that it's not the best dark type in the world, however, it's still a dark type. Dark types are great. My next pick is Ditto. Yes, complete shout out to the Mato Shea for the Ditto pickup, because before then I always thought Ditto was a bit of a meme and a bit of a breed. You just used it for breeding. However, multiple times I seen him use it well, so I figured I'm in my first draft, or in my first free draft, I'm going to pick up Ditto. At this point in the draft, I kind of couldn't think of what else I wanted. I did snipe a couple of people with the Ditto, but Ditto is a very, very good pick because it can take your opponent's Scolipede pass, it can take your opponent's Porygon pass, although not really, because I don't think that has pass, but like it can take those passing mods, it can take those setup mods. It is just a bitch. It can be anything that you want it to be. It can be and generally the Ditto will end up doing more than the mon itself, because generally you don't build to counter yourself. It is something that you're going to have to think about. It is something that you definitely have to prep for before draft, because you always have to think, what if Ditto turns into this? It's a hidden threat, I believe. Really looking forward to it, although it does have 2 abilities. Let's face it, we're only ever using Imposter. Its stats, Again, you're going to be using their stats. Not really much to comment on the Ditto itself, other than the fact that it's a versatile pick. I like it. Well, pick 9 in the draft, I think it is definitely a steal. The next pick in the draft is my Claydol. This is the other pick that was severely questioned. Claydol has Rapid Spin. Claydol has Screens. Claydol has Stealth Rocks. Claydol has the Ground type. It filled all of the boxes that at this point I needed filled. Yes, I have Defog users. Yes, I have Cabal Ian to set up rocks. But I don't have a Ground type. And if I set up my own rocks, I don't necessarily want to defog my rocks away with their rocks. So I picked up the Claydol because I can set up the rocks, I can Rapid Spin their rocks away. Not all the teams have a Ghost type. I think there's 5 or 6 Ghost types in the entire draft. 10 teams. Those Ghost types are going to be coming every week. Apart from the Gengar Z that is out there. Quite a lot of them aren't going to come every week. So, Claydol can put in some work. Claydol does also have the fun tech of, it has Explosion, which is always fun to run. But dual screens and rocks it's very, very good. The Levitate is also kind of handy, but not massively impactful. It just gives me a 3rd ground immunity at this point, considering I've got 2 steel types and a fire type. Very important, I guess. A couple of other neat resistances, however, it is yet another ice type weakness to pile onto this team. At the end of the draft, you'll see I have like 6 ice type weaknesses. It's been commented on. I'm okay with it, because quite a lot of my teams, pretty much all my teams are always weak to ice anyway, just because that's the kind of stuff I like bringing. I like bringing things like Claydol, I like bringing things like Arcanine and Salamence. Okay, Arcanine isn't weak to ice, but I like bringing those sort of things, and the common weakness they always seem to share is ice and occasionally rock. Mostly rock. So, I'm used to it. I can work around it, even though Bolt Beam is the thing. I have got Tapu Fini, I have got Cabal Ian. I even have Arcanine, so it'll work out. My next pick, my penultimate pick, is my Mandibuzz. Again, another ice weakness, surprise, surprise. However, it is another dark type, which is one of the reasons why taking Umbreon wasn't necessarily the best pick over the Vaporeon. But Mandibuzz only does really have one ability in the Overcoat, which is, in theory, one more ability than the Umbreon has. It is another flying type, so it's another ice weakness, it's another ground immunity. It is physically bulky, it is a monster, it does also get defog, which guaranteed puts me up to 2 defoggers and a rapid spinner. The other thing it gets, and the reason why I actually picked it, was the Whirlwind. As I mentioned before, all forms of Baton Pass are available, and I needed a way of getting rid of those Baton Pass mons. Phasing those things out is one of the best ways to do it. I have a phaser. I have 2 dark types, they do 2 completely different jobs. Yeah, it does also have slightly better recovery, because obviously the Roost is better than the Moonlight, because you get twice as many Roosts than Moonlight that the Umbreon can get. I believe it can get Moonlight. Umbreon can also get Wish, so it does have the same amount. However, obviously the Wish Pass works slightly different to how the Mandibuzz Roost actually works. But it's there. They both do toxic things, they both do Storly Wall things, they both have Foul Play, I believe. So they're similar in what they can do, but they are picked for 2 different things. So, the last pick that I have is the Celebi. I did nearly pick the Manaphy, because the Victini went, the Jirachi went, what was the other one that went? Mew went. So there was another one of the base 100s that went. And I'm thinking, I probably should have picked those up, thinking what fits into my team. Celebi, because Celebi is incredibly versatile. You have Sword Dance Celebi, you have Cleric Celebi, you have Support Celebi, so that is a 3rd rocker that I have. It is a 2nd Wisher that I have. It is a setup mon in its own right. You can run subs with it, you can run a lot of fun stuff with Celebi, and it is a grass type, and I did not have a grass type. It is another ice weakness, yes, so potentially that I didn't need that grass type, but I have a Water Fire Grass core, I have a Dragon Steel Fairy core, I have 2 different variations of that. 3, technically. This is a draft that I believe is incredibly well-rounded. It is not the greatest draft in the world. It is incredibly weak to ice. There's an incredible pigeonhole. However, there's enough stuff that I think that I can use to deal with it. I'm very happy with the draft. I'm very happy with the Celebi pick, because not having had the events growing up, I never had a Celebi. So I never used a Celebi. I am super far behind on the 20th anniversary event, so I have not soft resetted for Celebi. Like, if you're casting your minds back then, I think I'm at the shiny Rayquaza, because I've been soft resetting for IV, so I definitely have the Darkrai. I think it's the shiny Rayquaza that I'm at. So I have all 12 of the 20th anniversary ones, plus all the additional ones that they had out as well. Crazy. I am super far behind on those. But, again, much like Umbreon, Never had a chance to use it. Seen it used to great effect. I now have a chance to use it. Very happy. As I have said with pretty much every single mon, I am very, very happy. I mean, I wish that I had Land of Thurian. Land of Thurian. I wish that I do wish that I had Jirachi. Would have been nice. I do wish that I had Fortress. I wish that there's not much. However, there's a couple of comfort picks that I would have preferred to have had. But that's not to say I'm not happy with the ones that I have. So, all in all, yeah, I think it's a good draft. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Other people have done draft analysis. A couple of people have done power rankings. You can find them around on YouTube. This is an upload required league. Games are played Monday to Saturday. Uploads for me are probably going to be Sunday if I can get around to doing it on the Sunday. Otherwise, it will be the Monday when I get back from uni. Can I think of anything else? Well, during each of the uploads, I will try and get the link to the videos for each of the respective battles, including their channels and everything. So it's going to be a huge ass subscription. But obviously, if particular videos aren't up at the time, wait or come back. But obviously, all those other teams, if they have channels, their channels will be in the description, so you can watch them, see how they battle. They've done power rankings, they've done draft analyses themselves. They'll be doing some of them are doing team builders if they want to. That is up to them. Obviously, they will have all the battles. So, a lot of exciting stuff coming out. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like at the bottom. It really, really does help. Would also just be nice. If you want to keep track of this league as it goes on, then please do subscribe and press the bell, because you will get all notifications when I post my videos up about this league. To be honest, it's about everything that will be going on my channel. But all in all, thank you for sticking around, and I will see you all next time.